Hello everyone, Donny here. Welcome to part 2 of the Championship Manager 0304 series where we're looking at the game a little bit more detailed. Of course, this is part of the Championship Manager series that I've been doing for a number of years. We've been looking from Championship Manager all the way up to the Football Manager series, and as mentioned, we're looking at Championship Manager 0304. Now, you may have noticed in the previous part I said I had some resolution problems. I think I've sorted it out by doing a good old bit of zooming action. So I'm hoping everything is looking a little bit better than originally planned. So we're going to quickly have a look at the game today and see what the game was like, and we're going to take it from there. So this is the first screen you get. So you got your start menu, you've got play game, resume last game, view match, and quit. Obviously we're going to play a game, so we're going to click play game, and then you've got start new game. Choose this option to create a new game. You can start new game quick. That means it does the all initial picking the team, stuff like that, and what leagues and stuff you choose as well has already been picked for you. This is for people who don't want to be patient and wait for the game to do all its installation files, and they want a quick go of the game. They normally go start new game that way. You can load a game from previous save game or join network game. Obviously we won't be doing them, so we'll be doing the start new game. So we click on there, let the game go through, and then here you can select your leagues. It's got England already selected, as it always is. When you buy the game from the UK, you always get England selected. But I'm going to choose Germany, France. I'm going to get Italy in again, and then I get the other home nations, Scotland and Wales, to be put in as well. On this button here, it's got full detail. Only England we're going to look at full detail. My PC is well capable of doing all the other leagues as well, but we're just going to do full league for England. Here we then select what divisions we're going to be. We're going to click conference and above for England, and then for quickness, we're going to keep all the other leagues as they are. And then you go into create game, so click create game, and this normally takes a little while. So what I normally would do is would stop the video and then come back after the calculations have been done, but I'm going to keep it as it is to show you how quickly it does take now on a Windows 11 PC. This PC is quite new though, so I'm hoping it's not going to take too long. It has got 64GB of RAM and an i9 pretty powerful processor and a 5000 series graphics card. So my computer definitely is a bit OTT for a game that came out in November 2003. But I did try this game on previous settings before, and I had problems trying to get this game as big as it is now. I actually, in fact, did a whole episode 2 of this. Already did an episode 2, and it was going for 20 odd minutes, but I just couldn't get the resolution to work, and I didn't want you all watching this not seeing the screen very well. So I decided to scrap that part 2 video and start a brand new part 2, which we're doing now. So I've already created a profile, so I'm going to put him in already. There we go. That's not my real date of birth. Now, choosing a team to manage, I might have to change things here. When I looked at this game previously, Oxford are in a real bad way in this game, I hate to say it. They are heavily in debt. They've got 3 million bank loan they need to pay. I can't afford any players. I need to get rid of players, and this has really put me at a disadvantage trying to show you all how to enjoy this game. So I'm going to be afraid to say that I'm not choosing Oxford in this. I might actually do something very different. I might even go and choose a non-league, a Scottish Division 3 side maybe. That might put me in different financial problems again, or I could stick to England and go and do another side that is not much in debt, or even go into a conference side, which I think might be a bit more interesting. I think I'm going to choose Exeter, actually. Exeter in this game were actually a non-league side. If you can see the divisions, you can see how much different all the teams were here in 2003, for instance. Middlesbrough were in the Premier League. So was Portsmouth and Charlton and Blackburn and Birmingham. Man City are not a force as they are now. In the first division, we've got Bradford City are here, Crewe are here, Crystal Palace are in the first division. They're not in the top league. Neither is Forest. Um, and you got West Ham. That's quite a shock. West Ham are actually in the first division. The second division, a number of these sides, for instance, like Rushden, don't actually exist anymore. And Luton are down here. Hartlepool, who at the time of this recording are a conference side. The third division, of course, Oxford are there. And you got clubs like Boston United, who are a non-league side. Bury, who are now a Phoenix club, uh, which means Bury don't exist anymore, and they've now returned as a Phoenix club. The same for Darlington. They're a Phoenix club as well. You've got sides here who are in the non-league at the time of this recording who are now uh, league clubs in this game, like Torquay and York. Of course, Oxford in 2 seasons' time will become a non-league side because they actually get relegated. Not in this game, but we might be doing Football Manager 05 in the future, and you'll see them actually in as a non-league side for that game. So I think we're going to go to the conference side, and I think we're going to go and choose and see if we can get. Well, this is interesting. I might actually become manager of a club that don't actually really exist anymore. I'm going to be Scarborough's boss. Scarborough, I think, are around as a Phoenix side. I'm not too sure, but they did become bankrupted and don't exist anymore. So we're going to be Scarborough's boss. That's going to be interesting. And here is the Scarborough team, 17th in English Conference. Let's first of all, which is what I always do, is going to see how much money they've got, and they have got 418 million in debt. Million, thousand in debt. Crikey, if it was million, yeah. I'm just going to check to see what the confidence screen is. They're concerned about the club's long-term financial future. However, the club's wage bill is currently very high and they restrict wages until the situation is rectified. Maybe it's not such a good idea being Scarborough's boss then. I need to be a team that's got some sort of future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back into the game and become probably Exeter's boss. So I'll be back in a second. So we are back in the game and I've gone back and become Exeter City's boss, which was going to be kind of my choice before I went for Scarborough. And Exeter City have got, if you look in the finances, they have got 50,000 in the bank, no debts, and they have got a very high wage bill, so we have to do something about that. History is doesn't actually show you where they finished last season, but I think there you go, league positions. No, it doesn't say, but I think they got recently relegated to the Conference League, and so hence why they're down here. I've already done the tactics already, so we go to the tactics screen here, and we've done a 4-3-1-2 formation, so that hopefully will help us out a bit. I don't know too much about Exeter players, so we will have a quick look at a few of them and see what they're like. So when you go to your squad here, you'll notice there's a couple of players with stars. These are your star players. These are meant to be your best players in your team. And it looks like it's our defender right uh, and our two attacking midfielders. So let's look at Devine. Sean Devine, age 30. Not too bad at all. If we look at his information screen, which you click on here, you see he's worth 75,000, which is quite decent for a conference player. But he has got a release clause of 220,000, so someone can get him if they want to. Kame Apadudu, 32, Irish, 32 years old. He is worth 24,000, born in Bradford. Experience winger. He's worth 24,000, not too bad. Bought from, looks like he came from Arsenal. He was an Arsenal youth player. And yeah, not too bad. And then we'll look at McConnell. McConnell, 26 years old, £14,000 he is worth. Full back. Players back up to the first team. That's interesting. So the game does not think he's a star player. Let's look at the values of the players. Here's all the options here. So we'll go to general info, and here are all the players. So who's worth the most? It is Scott Devine. Yeah, I thought it'd be worth the most. And then you've got all the other players' values in here as well. Um, if you look in here, you've got your manager, then you've got the reserve squad, and then you've got the under 19s. We go to the reserve squad and see what the reserves are like. So the first one is 17-year-old James Alexander. Yeah, not too bad for 17. And then you can click up here to see the other players. Saves you going back a screen. Sean Cahill, not bad striker actually. He's got some really good physical stats there. So he could be interesting to have in the first team as a backup. Graham Cheeseman, 26 years old, in reserves. So I've got a feeling he's not going to stay for too long. Let's have a look at the information screen. His contract's £375. We do. Players not needed by a club. So he has been transfer listed. Yes, he is. Yeah, he is transfer listed, unspecified. So if you click on here, you get your value. Click on there, and then we'll reduce the value down to about 10. Confirm. And then the next reserve, Edwards, 16, only 16 years old, very, very quick. Acceleration and pace is lightning fast, so he'll definitely will feature probably as a sub maybe in the game. So can we actually, that's one thing, we need to look at our final reserve here, and yeah, Wondercut looks pretty damn good actually for reserve. I'm actually going to promote him. He looks pretty good. Senior player, 14,000. If we go back to the first team, can we include the first team in here like what you can do in the newer versions of the game? Doesn't look like you can actually in this version. So we will have to, if we go to our reserves, then oh no, he's in our first team. He's in Wondercut. So there we go. He's down there. So put him there. So he's definitely one for the future. So let's start and look at some of these other options over here for you. So you've got your news, your English conference. So this is where your division is. So here we've got all the other sides with us. And then you've got the club confidence. So the board, current and seasonal expectations, supporters, current and seasonal expectations, what they all think we should be doing. The board are quite happy. They think the wage bill is currently very high and restrict the wages. They expect us to win the conference. Okay. Next, the supporters are optimistic, and they're also thinking that we should be challenging. It kind of makes sense because I think we're a former league side. And then you've got all the transfers. No transfers been done yet in the whole game. Job information. So all these managers, teams are looking for managers. This will always change throughout the whole game. And then you've got player and staff search. This is where you go and find those players, which we will do sometime soon. We've only got a transfer budget of 5,000 and we're 2,000 over our wage budget, so we're not going to get that many decent players at the moment. Quick search. Now this is a good little thing. This is where you actually now go in and find some players. Now, I don't know if Messi's in this system because he would be very young in 2000. This is 20 years ago. No, he's not in there. So is Ronaldo in there? He is. There we go. Cristiano Ronaldo's 18 years old in this game. Wow, that's amazing. So you would not. He would probably be the only current player that will be in this game because this is 20 years ago, 22 years ago, and Ronaldo's still playing. By the time it's recording, he's still playing. Um, I wouldn't find any others in here. So you have to go back in 2003 and find England internationals, for instance, who appear in 2008, 2009, 2010, and see if they're a bit younger. So any England internationals, I'm going to just quickly go online and find out the England side in 2010, maybe. The England World Cup squad of 2010, that'd be interesting. And see what they are. See if we can find any of those players in 2003. So, well, I'm just looking now, And so we've got quite a few little names here we can look. So we'll do some player searching now because I know it's quite fun. And then I think next episode we actually start playing the actual game itself. So we're looking at see if John Terry's here, the Chelsea captain. John Terry, there he is. And he is 22 years old in this game. He is worth 6.5 million and he's only had one cap so far. So wow. Let's look at Glenn Johnson. We're trying to find some players that we can not grab for free because none of these will be cheap. There you go. Glenn Johnson's 18 years old. He's worth 3.7 million. So when, of course, you find a player you want, you can go down to this actions table. This is where all the actions will be for all the things you need to do for each player. And you can put add to shortlist, set nickname. Here's where you put your notes. Get scout report, make an offer. Obviously, we won't be able to get any of these players. Steven Gerrard, see if he's in the game. I think he should be. There he is. 18 years old. He's already had 3 caps and he's worth 13.5 million. Wow. So obviously when we've done Gerrard, we have to look at Michael Owen. Is he in this? There he is. He's down there. No, there he is. He's Liverpool. Yep. 23 years old. He is worth 19.5 million. Wow. So let's see if I can spot any bargains, as they call it. So Upson, Matthew Upson, 24 years old. So yeah, all these are 7 years later in the England World Cup squad. Let's see if we can find a potential a lot younger player. Oh, James Milner. Of course, James Milner. He is another player who's still been around. James Milner, there you go. He's reserves, 17 years old. There we go. So I'm just going to add him on the short list. I know we definitely can't get him, but be interesting to see what happens. Theo Walcott. Now, Walcott, I think, is too young for this game. Yeah, he's not in it because Theo Walcott it's now 36 at the time of this recording. So, yeah, he would be about 10, 11, too young. So, we're looking for someone. Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney is in there. Everton. 17 years old, 5 caps already, and he is worth 13.75 million. Wow. So I'll add them to the shortlist. So you could also, I could jump that obviously by looking at England's under 21 side. So we'll go through all these in a minute more now. So you get your manager options here. So I'm going to change all this. So get Scott Hiney to do training because I don't do training. Train on match day, rest after the match. I'm not going to get both bosses of the under 19s and reserves to use the current match tactics, which kind of makes sense. And then screen history is all the players you've looked at before. Teams are all the teams you've looked at before, so you can go back and look at those quickly if you wanted to. And then you've got your competitions, you've got the World Cup, you've got International, the World Club. These are all 2003 competitions, of course, so things have changed greatly, like the Intertoto Cup is in this, and it's not anymore around. So the World Cup, the last World Cup we've had was 2002, so the current hosts, the holders of Brazil and the hosts are going to be Germany in 2006. So obviously we now know what of course happened in the previous World Cups after that, 2006, 2010, 14, 18 and 22 and 26. So quite a few World Cups have happened since then. So you got your cup. So we just go to nations, under 21s, go to Europe, and then England. There you go. Here is the England under 20 squad in 2003. Peter Crouch is in there as a 22-year-old. You've got Defoe, obviously, is 20-year-old. Wow. Worth 4 million. Obviously, we can't get any of these players. But it's good looking at what we know, how they develop and what they develop into later on in these years. And obviously, let's have a look at the England squad itself. And these are the current England players of 2003. Some really famous names there. Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's wanted. Who's he wanted by? Um, does it actually say doesn't actually say who he's wanted it by. Interesting. Favourite clubs England, Everton. It's interesting. He said it's wanted, but then it doesn't actually tell you who wants him. Wanted by a club. So let's see if we can click in here. Click information. Oh, Exeter, it's us. Owen Hargreaves, David Beckham, the famous David Beckham, of course, 28 years old in this game, contracted at Real Madrid, worth 17, 18 million. You got Gareth Southgate, the former England boss. He's at Middlesbrough. He's a 32-year-old player here, so it's all good. We will feature more famous players and names in the next episode. If you want me to, I'll go and check them out for you. But anyway, you got your news screen here. So this is your news screen. We'll continue game now, and we'll play a couple of the friendly and see how we get on, and then that'll be the end of this episode. So the game is just going through its screen. Dean Mox's contract's due in 6 months' time, so I don't have to worry about that just yet. So go to the squad. You've got all your options here. So here's your staff screen. Assistant manager's not that brilliant. Information screen. We've got our stadiums, 9,000 people. Good facilities, which is not bad for a conference side. Financials, we've seen that already. Fixtures. So our fixture is UWIC. Who are they? Oh, Inter Cardiff, the Welsh non-league side. So it looks like we've got a mini Cardiff tour here, which is interesting. And then we're in the Conference League, and then transfers. So we'll continue going. We'll play one game, and then I think in the next episode we'll start building up the team or trying to make them a bit better. So we'll just go through all these quickly. Hopefully it won't take too long. Even on a fast computer, the calculations still need to be done. So there we go. So this is the news screen. Extra squad. Respond. Yep. Auto. Submit. That's all done. Barnet have signed a free transfer. That's one thing we actually need to do right away, I think. Let's go to the player search and look at all these world famous players. We'll go to filter. Ask the assistant to filter out realistic targets. Go to expired and click OK. So we've got a list of 141 players here who are all on free transfers, it would be. So I'm just looking through, see if I can spot some famous names. Marlon Beresford does look familiar. Christian Hislop. No, he's not. I thought I recognised the name there. Steve Harkness, wasn't he former Liverpool player? Age 31. Yes, he was. Crikey, I do remember that well. Steve Harkness, not as very good stats. But again, these are all free. We just Eddie Newton, yeah, he was at Chelsea. Actually, he's not bad. I might try a sneaky bid for him. Approach to sign, 850 quid. The board will allow it. Would be no ball and fringe player. If you wish to obtain pay, he reckons that restricted offer to 850 a week. Okay. Fringe player. So rotation. Confirm offer. See if we get him. Because I think he'd be a good player for us. Bit of experience. These players are wanted, so they might be pretty good. So what I might do actually is, what I normally do is I go through the stats screen and compare players. Now Phil Whelan was an Oxford player. Yes, he was. And Tate was as well, Paul Tate. So of course I recognise those names. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. So the view screen, by the way, is what I'll do. Oh look, Bendine. Okay, is go view, attributes, attacking. There we go. And then if I look at passing, shooting, creating, finishing. There you go. Finishing is the one I'm looking for. So who's the best striker? So Sean Evers is pretty decent. 25 years old. Actually, yeah, he's not too bad. So I'm going to see how much he will be. Doesn't believe signing Sean Eames would be worthwhile. Oh, okay. Interesting. Have we filtered that out yet? Yeah, okay. He doesn't think that good striker is worth anything. What about Gary Redmond? Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's good. He's got a couple of decent. His mentals are good. His profile's okay. His physicals are not so good, but I think he's definitely quite good. Good signing. Yeah, there we go. 950. I think he'd be worth it. So confirm. Yes. So we actually are trying to sign some players in this episode. Philip Scott. Attacking midfield centre. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Ready to sign. Fringe player. So rotation. 725. We have to bear in mind that we haven't got that much around in wage bills, have we? Ah, I know that player. Sergi Balacha. Scottish.
Good afternoon, Mark. According to Wikipedia,
Ooh.
Scotland is a country that is part of the United
Alexa, cancel. Alexa just went and told me about Scotland because I mentioned Scotland. So she has a mind of its own sometimes. So it's a good way of comparing players is by looking at the stats here. So we've made some bids there for some good players there. Oh, quite a good defender there. So 600 active member of the first team. Okay, this is a good one. So yep, and then continue game. So let's play our friendly against Inter Cardiff, and that'll be the end of the episode, I think. So we'll go to the match. Okay, we've got one player injured. So our defense right is injured. So we'll click view, sorry. Go traditional. So I know who to replace. McConnell. That's an easy one. And right click that one. I need a 12 and a 3. But I can't put anyone else in. Can I get my... Shame in this game you can't put your reserves into the first team like you can do in a future FM series. On this one, it's a bit different. So I don't think you can view. No, the team. No, you can't actually put your reserves in because I would have put the 2 reserve players into that lineup. So the only way I can do this is to promote them. So let's see if we can promote. Yeah, you'll do. You'll be the first one. Any decent under 19-year-olds? Not really. So this is what you always do in this game. You always muck around and try to find some right players. Okay, I'll get him in. And then you go back to your squad, and then you can put those 2 players in. So number 3 and number 12. There we go. And then go to match. Proceed to match. Yeah. And see how we get on against Inter Cardiff. So we go down here with the options. Your speed is going to be fast. Highlights, when the highlights come up, they actually are quite slow, which is odd. So we'll go play the game straight away. And there should be a little bit of sound. There we go. So we're in red, obviously. And we're 1-0 down already. Not the best of starts. 2-0 down. Maybe this formation's not working so well already. It's alright, I can change things at half time, but not the best of starts. Oops, that's an elbow in the face. That's not going to be good for Randall. It's been all into Cardiff. This could be 3, and it is. Oh dear. We might need to make changes. Not the best of starts, really. To be fair, they've had 3 shots and all of them been in the goal. That's, yeah. Okay. So we need to change a couple of things here. So go to X to tactics. I might have to drop someone to defensive midfielder. So I'll do that. Do I need to view their positions actually, so I know who goes where? This is the assistant who picked this as well. I'm blaming the assistant. Like Cronin should go down there. Penji go there. And the 2 strikers are just not having a good day. Yeah, so set team instructions, team, passing, mentality. They just can't do. I think mentality have to be normal. Take the zonal marking on, men behind the ball. Focus passing through the middle because we are through the middle. Oh, ultra defensive. No, defensive. Let's see if that does anything. Turn to the match. Can't get any worse. Well, can. We can get more conceded. But it's still into Cardiff. Let's at least have a highlight with us on it. Us playing. No, because it's been all into Cardiff at the moment. I forgot how good the 2D is. Right, let's make some changes. Again, I need to click positions because I don't know this team well. I'm going to get some of the one to cut in. There you go, the kid. Put him instead of Vine. Cronin, it's, yeah. I need to put Coppinger. I recognise that name, so I'll put him there. James Alexandra, you're a 17-year-old, aren't you? No, I don't think you'd be able to do anything. Jenon needs to go. Oh, is he left wing? Yeah. So I need to put Moxie on instead of him. He's having a bit of a shocking game. The goalie's having a terrible game. Yeah, I have to sort the goalie around. He's having a shocker. Let's try to. I need to see who makes a good captain actually. Details. No, it's not that one. Condition. Yeah, 68%. Yeah, okay. We're going to lose this, but let's see if we can get some respect. Yeah, James Britton knows he doesn't play. You're the goalie. When the goalie hasn't had a good, when the goalie has not had a good day, you know that you're going to do badly. No, this is them having the corner. So we haven't actually had any highlights for us. So I might have to change the formation until we get at least a kind of good formation. Yeah, okay. We didn't start very well, did we? So on that point, we're going to end this episode. Thanks for tuning in, as always. If you do like this, then please let me know and we'll make a part 3. to this. It all depends if you all want to see it. If I see, say, not many views, then I presume you don't, and we'll move on to Football Manager 05. But thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you want to comment, then that'd be great, because I will reply back to you. And thanks for watching me doing so badly in this first game. We might have to experiment with some formations before the season starts, or we're certainly not going to be champions. Thanks for tuning in anyway. Don't say goodbye, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye. What are your thoughts about this game? Please let me know in the comments. Many thanks for watching this video. Greatly appreciated. If you like this channel, please send me a like or subscribe.